Need some fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins? Go to MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 5% off your order. Link in the description below. Welcome back, YouTubers and Madden fans. This is Mad Money Shot, sniffing out the Madden cheese as always. Got some plays for you today out of my New England Patriots defensive ebook. I'm going to be putting out a Detroit Lions playbook, and I'm probably going to be doing maybe, I'm not even really sure, maybe like a Panthers defensive ebook. I'm going to be doing a couple of different styles of defensive ebooks throughout the year. But the next one that's going to come out is definitely going to be the Lions, because I know a lot of people are true believers when it comes to the Lions playbook. To me, the Patriots and the Lions are essentially, they're very similar. There might be a difference of a few formations, but for the most part, to me, they're just about identical. But today's videos are from the Patriots, and like I said, they're probably in the Lions as well. They're probably in most any book that has the nickel 3-3-5 wide, which you guys remember a couple years back, I put out a wildly successful play from this particular formation. This to me was one of the best defenses in the game, probably like Madden 17, around the time Madden 17 started, and it's still one of the top. I find myself using this as essentially my base defense when it comes to most games. I used to be really heavy into the 3-4, and I still use that, but I feel like I can use this formation against just about anything from three wide to 3 tight end. I feel like this formation, the way that it's set up and the way that it spreads, is really one of the best formations at stopping the run and pass. So I'm going to go ahead and show you 2 plays today. The first one's right there. I mean, it's a borrowed concept. I use the same concept as I use from my 3-4 video, with the exception of the cover 4 drop show 2. If you guys saw those videos, these concepts are going to look very familiar. But this defense has something that defense doesn't have, and that's the ability to get more cornerbacks and more safeties, better coverage guys, better speed guys on the field, which is why I essentially use this. And like I said, to me, it's a better run defense. It's a better run defense than the 3-4 because of how far I can spread it and how many adjustments I can make with my down linemen and linebackers. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. But first off, like I said, I want to make some adjustments when it comes to these guys. You can put a safety at your middle linebacker, which once again, you're probably going to have a faster safety than you do linebacker. I mean, some safeties, I don't know if they have anybody like that on this team, but there's 90 plus safeties that, you know, way more regular on teams than when, you know, it comes to 90 plus linebackers. So I'm going to put, you know, I can put anybody I want. I think like Harmon might be a better coverage guy, so I can probably switch him out with Chung. I could even put a cornerback where Chung is if I want to, because a lot of times we're going to be running man coverage. So if you have a good cornerback on your bench, you can put him at the safety spot. Other than that, we're going to go ahead, we're going to set up our audibles by hitting LT, and then we're going to pick we'll get rid of that play right there. We'll pick the Mike Blitz 0, which was actually already in the in the audibles. And then the next play that I'm going to pick, like I said, you guys might remember if you've been watching my channel for a while, the 3 Sam Will Blitz. So to me, these are the 2 plays that I would have in my audibles. Before I start the video though, I just want to thank my new sponsors at MMOXP.com. If you guys are looking to buy some coins for your MUT team, you can do that there, and you can support me by supporting them and buying your coins through them. And make sure to use discount code MONEYSHOT so they know that you came from my site, from my channel. Other than that, let's get into the video. So how this defense works, there's really a couple different setups. Sometimes I'll leave it just like this and use this linebacker here. I mean, I can bring him down into the gap just to try to get these. I put these outside guys in the QB contain, so I can try to get these QB contain guys off. Just so you can see he comes in free. I mean, it was a shotgun empty backfield, so you're going to get that look quite often, obviously. And I find it's really successful because of lack of time to set up your plays a lot of times on defense. You can really just hit QB contain and then boom, you're right where you're at, right where you need to be. You're down here in the box trying to get. I typically find too, if I want to get like right here, I'm setting up so I can get the left blitzer off. Like if I come down here, I'm trying to get him in because he's really not really close. You can see right there, we get pressure from the other side. So that's one method. Like I said, this defense is really flexible. You can do a lot of different things with this defense. But to me, this is probably one of the most common that I use. Like I said, all I'm doing is QB containing, bringing this guy down to the blitz. I can typically base align, show press, all that stuff that people typically do. It's really up to you based off of individual coverage. For whatever reason though, a lot of times when I do that, that safety basically turns into a double coverage for the outside, for that outside receiver. I don't know why it does that, but it does that for a lot of times. Other than that, if I want to set up for run defense, one of the reasons I really like this play is you can just basically spread everybody. You know what I mean? Like you can just get these linebackers out. You can manually move them out so that you don't give up outside containment, which is really good when it comes to run defense. But you can see in pass defense, it takes them out of the QB contain, which I don't want to do. I want to keep them. I want to keep them close enough that they're in the QB contain, but I want them to have outside leverage of these defensive players, because if it is a run play to the outside, they'll do a great job of setting that up and stopping that. And then if I have a cover 3, because like I said, I do have a cover 3 in my audibles, a lot of times we're going to go to that. A lot of times I want this safety out here too. You know what I mean? I'll just take him down, and that way I'll have even better run defense. You can see I can just set up to a point. There's no outside runs that are going to happen against this. And if I set it up like this, inside runs might be a little bit more an issue, but if they're hitting me more with inside runs, then I have my option to bring these guys inside like that. So it basically sets up like I have 3 linebackers. It's like a 5-3, which essentially, to me, like I said, the way that this works, I don't really worry about run fits. A lot of people, they swear by run fits. I make my own run fits. As you can see right there, I'd stop touching the controller and boom, we get a playoff. But still, you can see how it's going to set up. Like I said, I make my own run fits. You know what I mean? I don't really worry about that. So these guys outside are blitzing. I know how they're going to go based off of that. And then, like I said, I can just basically, you know, set all this up how I want, to the point where I have, you know, I have my own contain. So, you know, this is pretty much how I like to run it. And then, like I said, if I'm thinking pass, this is a good way to get some pressure. And like I said, I got to get back, and then I just have coverage. You know what I mean? Like, the man coverage is better in this game this year than zone. So to me, I typically will start off with a lot of this. You know what I mean? A lot of this type of play, and then, like I said, just user in the middle. I have my choice too. If I want to let the all-out blitz happen, I can just user the guy on the running back, because 9 times out of 10 the running back stays on the block anyway. So I really have my option to just user this guy over the running back and do the exact same thing, just using the center of the field. If the running back goes out on a route, I got to take it. But you can see now I just kick the blitz up a notch. So it's really up to you. If you want to send 5, you can send 5. If you want to send 6, you can let Chung do the job. You know what I'm saying? I could just leave him go to be that additional blitzer, and then take my chances if the running back. I mean, you're gonna, like I said, this year in Madden, you got to mix it up. You got to do both. You can't just do one. So this would be my second option if I really want to kick it up a notch. Let that pressure come in. I got to use that running back though. And then, like I said, we're getting really good man coverage across the board. That's how it goes. Man's the way this year. And then I also have the option one more time. And like I said, I have to base align. A lot of times I have to man align to get that. So that if I don't man align, a lot of times there's a double coverage going on for some reason. But yeah, right here, once again, I man align. If I base align for some reason, you get that double coverage. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. I just have to know that I have to use somebody else. So like I said, I can do this 6-man. You can see once again, I mean, even if the running back blocks, I'm probably going to get a free rusher. Or I can do, I mean, the coverage is great. You know what I mean? That's the real thing about this. You have such a better pass defense than you do in a 3-4. So then the last option that I'll also use sometimes is I'll do the same thing that I've done in other videos, where I'll zone all. Then I'll put my outside guys on these type of flats. And now I'm just going to use this guy. Like, this is the way I would switch it up. Once again, I'll do the QB contain, because it's still going to be a better way to pass rush. But this is if I want to go for like coverage sacks. So I'll go ahead and I'll run it like this, and now I just have, you know, ultra zones across the field, as you can see right there. I mean, pretty much everybody's locked up the same way. A lot of people think that if you do that, you're giving up stuff deep, but if you have good enough corners, you don't have to worry about it. So let's watch the replay, see how the coverage was. You can see that here, the drag is kind of open. I mean, this guy would basically just drop down on him if he throws it right away. You can see it drops off, and I'm not worried about giving up drags. If I run something like this, you can have those drags. The deep routes are, like I said, this to me, in a defense that I put out in the past, the 3-4, you have a little bit more issue over the top. But you can see, I mean, I got that covered with these guys. They're all covering it over the top. So it's like, I don't even have to worry about it. Even Deshaun Jackson, he's not getting beat. He's not, you know, the McCourty's all over that. And then the inside guy, you know, he comes into my area. He gets underneath. That's why I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I'm there to use the middle. So boom, we get nothing. So like I said, to me, this is an excellent pass defense, an excellent base defense, an excellent run defense all across the board. So, you know, like I said, I can't really say that this play is like a cure-all to the point where you can just run it one way all the time. You really have to choose. There's 3 different ways to run it. And I'll go over that again for people. Like I said, you can run it the all-out blitz way like this. This is not the way that I run it the most. The way that I run it the most is using this guy and then dropping into a zone. This is probably my favorite way. It kind of runs it like a cover 1 zone. But you can see, like, you know, like I said, the coverage is just tight. You know what I'm saying? You're still getting pressure. I'm sure somebody got in and forced a quick pass. I haven't really given up more than a couple of yards this entire video. This thing is just running consistent. So like I said, that's the first way. The second way that I run it is go ahead and switch off to this guy, take the running back, and just do the exact same thing, only now I'm going to get a lot pressured. I mean, this is an issue. Like I said, we're getting a free runner. I had the running back had me in the flats. So whether you want to kick it up a notch in run defense, which I find this is probably the best way to try to kick it up in that variety, or whether you want to kick it up a notch in, you know, just pressure. You want to get more pressure quicker, going this route, you know, like I said, mixing this in, you know what I'm saying, is going to be the best way. You can't run that like that all the time. But you can see, I mean, the flats are pretty much locked up. You know what I mean? It's just, everything's locked up. So that's it. That's the vid. Like I said, it's really mostly about this particular play, but you do have the option, if they start hitting you with slants and stuff like that, you can pull out this you know, the Sam 3 Will Blitz, whatever the hell it's called. This is probably the second version that I do. You can do the exact same setup as far as the pressure, come down the gap, you'll get some free runners in the same way. You're just going to confuse your opponent. They're going to be expecting that same man blitz, which, like I said, the man version blitz would probably be the play that I'd run 9 times out of 10. But if I want to mix it up and throw in a zone every once in a while, this would be the play that I would do, because I also have the option, if I really want to take away like slants and stuff like that people think they get smart and start throwing, you hit zone all and you're going to be jumping those lanes. So essentially this here would probably be my second favorite play out of this formation. You can see there's nothing open over the middle, and he goes and he throws it right to me, and we're gonna end the video on that. So that's it. That's the play. That's the video. If you guys want to see more defensive plays, do me a favor, hit the like button, and I'll do that next. Other than that, thanks for watching Madden Money Shot out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.